Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel, Everyday Grace. We are headed to Canton, Texas to go to Yesterland. If you don't know what Yesterland is, it's pretty much like an amusement park. It's really popular around the fall and the Halloween time because they have a corn maze, there's different games and rides you can do with the kids, and there's pumpkins that you can pick out. So we are headed there and we're gonna have some spooky fun. I'm gonna take y'all with us. Are you excited, LJ?
Yeah.
All right, y'all ready, kinfolk?
This place can't be that cool.
It's supposed to be pretty cool.
I don't know about that.
Probably not $34 worth of cool, but it's supposed to be pretty cool.
That's 3/3 of my paycheck.
I know. Tell me about it.
Dust. I deal with
You
this
excited?
work.
Smile, Bubba. Smile. He be getting scared. He just don't play it like he don't.
Yeah, I got chill. Look, you see that little dude over there? Where'd he go? Me and Jalen turned around, and there was a little boy dressed up as Death, just standing behind us.
I didn't see that, but I heard somebody saying something about it.
Yeah, he was just standing there, dude, wasn't moving a muscle. Yeah.
That's kind of scary. They have a trail ride you can go on. Oh, it's over that way. Yeah, I know. I was with you. You and Papaw and me. Woo! Is that fun, Bubba? All right, you going in front?
Heck no, I ain't going in front.
Get Daddy to go in front. Get Daddy to go in front. I don't want to be in the back. They might try to get me.
Yeah, you'll be in the back.
Make sure you don't touch anybody.
Nobody. That's me when I say that. Yeah, we going to have. We're gonna go in there now. Okay, are we not going through this now? No, apparently not. Okay, let's go.
I'm kind of scared too. I don't know about this.
Can I get my flashlight?
Are you going in the house? Are we? I'm scared. No, I'm just kidding. I ain't scared.
I ain't scared.
No, I'm not sure.
Mama, you better hold my hand. Woo! Mama, come here.
Oh my goodness. I can't see.
Mama.
Bubba. Uh-oh. Stop playing. Oh my gosh. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming, swimming. You chicken shit. He's scared.
I don't do spiders.
I don't do spiders either. You get that from your mother. Let's go.
Hello, everybody. We're here at
Jane.
the party.
Come here, son. Come here.
I don't either.
I thought you weren't going to get scared, baby. Thought you weren't going to get scared. Oh my gosh, I almost wiped out right there. That was the only thing that scared you?
God died. Hey, I'm sorry.
Ah! Somebody call the fire department. Smile. I know, right? Happy fall, y'all. No, because it's fall, baby. You like it? Get a root beer float. Is it good? It is time to do the Q&A portion of this video. I am super excited. I've never done a Q&A. Honestly, I thought I'd get some more questions than what I did, but I did get a couple of questions. And to everybody who asked me a question, thank you for interacting with my posts. I really do appreciate whenever y'all reach out and talk to me. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So the first question is a question from... Forgive me if I pronounce some names wrong on here. I am awful at pronouncing names. I'm awful at reading, and I don't know how to read any of the name tags on here. So the first one that I'm going to read is from Shannon 5252. Hello from Pasadena, Texas. Did y'all ever find the dirty, rotten thief? No, unfortunately not, and I seriously doubt that we will unless a gun comes up being found. Like if they try to sell it to a pawn shop or anything like that, it will come up as stolen, and then from what I've heard, you do get those guns back whenever they're found. They'll return it to the previous owner, but other than that, I seriously doubt we hear anything. Unfortunately, that's just how it is. I'd love for them to find them, but I don't think they will. The next one is from Willow's Garden, and it says, how are you doing now? I know your heart is still broken over losing your father. I hope it's getting a little better every day. Have a blessed day. Thank you, Willow. And yes, it is still hard, and I still have days that I struggle, and it seems like they consume me on those days, my thoughts and my feelings, but I can say that it has gotten better, and thank God it has. Just thinking back to whenever he first passed, it gives me just such an uncomfortable, skin-crawling feeling. I never want to go back to those times again. But yes, I am doing better, and I am still working through it. Gina D 367 says, hi, hope all is well with you and your family. Just curious if your sisters have a relationship with your aunt, the one that is taking care of your grandmother. No, none of us have a relationship with that aunt. We were never close to her, and I personally feel there was always some type of tension, but I digress. No, none of us have a relationship with her, and all of us have cut ties. She was never really friendly with us to begin with, if that makes sense. But to answer your question, no. None of us talk to her, have a relationship with her, or her daughter. None of us. Period. What's up?
Did you put a present on my table?
Why?
Because there's a present on my table.
Well, I think you should open it. I think you should probably open it.
Thank you, Sissy. Me and Zach look like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's about the only thing I could figure out that you could probably use, because you got everything you ever need.
Yeah. Thank you, sis. Yeah, we'll definitely use that. We always take baths together and stuff.
Yeah, and it smells really good.
More bath stuff. Yep. Thank you, Sissy.
Alright. Hey, and that spray, you spray it on your pillow before bed, and it makes your pillow smells really good. I always spray it where I lay at.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited about that. Yeah, I know you had that spray, so I'm excited to use it.
Alright, love you.
Love you too.
Bye. I did already answer this question, but Calvin Lehman, which I'm pretty sure is his wife that uses his username named Linda, said, such a cute picture of the dog, does not look real. Yes, that was whenever Prissy was a baby. We had just gotten her, and we had her for like 12 years. All throughout my childhood, we had Prissy, and that was like my favorite dog. It's funny because she was not a kid's dog. She did not like kids, bless her heart, but she loved us anyways. She was just more grumpy than normal. Yeah, she was not a kid's dog, but it's funny because my dad got her to be a kid's dog, but she did love us anyways, and she was very protective too. But Linda asked, I'd like to ask if you are okay. Again, yes, I'm doing fine. I'm trying to work through my emotions whenever they do come, but again, it has gotten better, y'all. And I think I'll always carry the weight of loss. Like I said, I don't ever think it leaves you, but you do learn how to cope with it and to live with it. So Tammy Bowers 3453 asked, how did you and your husband meet? How long have you been married? Love your videos. Thank you, Tammy. And oh my goodness. So me and my husband met, it's complicated. I was 12, fixing to turn 13, and he had just turned 15, and we met, let's see, my ex-stepsister. Her mother and my dad were together almost all throughout my early childhood. Then they split up, and I still had a relationship with my stepsister, so she's my ex-stepsister, okay? Her then husband that she got with, I don't know how to explain it. Let's see. She got with a man who had had kids. He was a little bit older than her, and he had already had kids, and his kid, so my ex-stepsister's then husband, had a son, and that was Jimmy. They lived in Florida. Jimmy did. My Jimmy lived in Florida, and he ended up coming here to meet his dad after a very long time of not seeing him. And before he came here, golly, this is complicated, y'all. So I pretty much knew a lot of my husband's family before I met my husband. So his cousin was scrolling through Facebook. Jesse, the one you see on videos sometimes, he was scrolling through Facebook, and my Jimmy was sitting beside him in Florida, and he pointed me out and he said, "Who is that?" And Jesse said, "That's your," and then he explained what it was. So Jimmy took the initiative to message me on Facebook, and we started talking then, but not really seriously or anything. Again, I'm 12, fixing to turn 13 at this time, and this guy is in Florida, so I'm like, you know, whatever. But we were talking, and then apparently 3 weeks later, he shows up to Texas, and he wants to meet me. My ex-stepsister calls me on the phone, and she's like, "Hey, Jimmy's son," which, because, you know, her husband at the time was named Jimmy too, so his son, my Jimmy, was like, she's like, "He's really interested in meeting you. He wants you to come over so y'all can meet." So what did I do? I went over there and I met with him, and ever since then we kind of just clicked. That is how I met my husband. Y'all, please don't make fun of me. There is no blood relation at all, and no relation at all. But yes, I did meet my now husband through my ex-stepsister, and we have been together ever since. And we have been married for 2 years now, and we have been together for 12 years. We didn't want to marry right off the bat because we couldn't afford a wedding. And I know you can go to the courthouse, and there is nothing wrong with courthouse weddings. There is nothing wrong with not having a wedding. But me personally, I wanted a traditional wedding, which I couldn't afford at the time, so I waited until I could afford it, which was whenever I got out of school. It took a long time. I got out of school, was able to pay for the wedding, me and Jimmy both, and we had a beautiful wedding, and I'm really happy that I waited. But it was 10 years after we had gotten together we were able to finally afford our wedding. Dakota Piper 3767 says, "Do you find it hard to keep the house clean all the time and take care of a child? I'm a first-time mom, and I still get frustrated when the house isn't clean. I always worry somebody might stop by and see the house the way it is. I feel like I have to clean all day." First of all, Dakota, my house is not clean all the time, honey. It is 95% of the time dirty. And I can understand your frustration, and I just kind of want to hug you because I know how it feels, especially if you have little ones. I don't know if your child is a little one still or what the case may be, but it is so hard, especially when they are little, to keep a clean house, because all you do is you clean it up, and then what do? They go in right behind you, and they're grabbing stuff, and they're playing. And I struggled with that too, so I completely understand what you're saying. But what I've learned is, y'all, we live in these houses. This is not a show home. I show y'all cleaning my house, and it may look like I do a really good job and it's always clean. It is not always clean. I could literally look right over here on my dresser, and it is packed full of junk. And behind y'all is a bunch of stuff that I need to donate and boxes that need to get burned that's been sitting there forever. And then over here I have 2 things of laundry that need to get done. So yes, I do get frustrated because we keep ourselves to these high standards that we can't achieve, or for me it's not that we can't, but it's not realistic either. It's not fair to beat yourself up about how your house is. Yes, you want to keep a clean house. Yes, you want to keep it sanitary, but y'all, we live in these houses. Please don't beat yourself up about that type of stuff. Honestly, now it's easier for me to go in and clean. Now that LJ's older, yes, he still makes messes, and yes, sometimes I get frustrated with the house being dirty, but you'll miss the times whenever you're picking up toys in the living room, or you're picking up the mess that he made on the counter because he was eating his food and they don't quite know how to get the food to their face in their mouth without making a mess all over. My best advice for you is to embrace the chaos. Do the best that you can, but don't be so hard on yourself. I've learned here lately that we take life too seriously, and at the end of the day, none of this is permanent. Absolutely none of it. And if you're worried that people are going to come over and see your house dirty and see that it's lived in, reevaluate who you have coming over to your house, because people should know you and should know that you're doing the very best that you can. There should be no reason for somebody to come over and judge you for your house. And if they do, that's a them problem. That sounds like a them problem. There should be no reason why the people that you're letting into your house should judge you so harshly. Definitely don't feel alone. I am literally right there with you on the house. My house is never clean. It's never clean, y'all. And I'm also harsh on myself too, but here lately I've just been kind of like, this is life. This is real life. Everybody else on the Facebook and the Instagrams and the TikToks, they can have it so pitch perfect and make it look so good, but you know, good for them. But me, I'm in the real world and there's chaos over here. So please give yourself grace, Dakota. There are way more things that could be going wrong besides a dirty house. Think of that you're able to give your child a place that's safe, in a good environment, and give them food and shelter and clothing. Those are the things that count, not if you need to mop your floors. So that's the best advice I can give for you. The next question is from SDB or SDB42, and it says, you remind me a lot of me and my fondness that you had with your father. My husband passed away in his early 80s from Alzheimer's. My mother left when I was very little, so my daddy was always my hero. Has your mother ever been in your life? My mom and dad split up whenever I was around 1, and she has been, because I'm the baby, she hasn't been a constant in my life. My other sisters can remember whenever she was doing the raising, you know, my dad and her were together and she would get them ready for school and all that. I have none of those memories. We'd see her every now and then. It wasn't like she was never there and she completely dipped, but she was busy with her own struggles at the time, and she wasn't really a dependable person in my life. We've talked about that. Being an adult now, we have had those hard conversations. Even though she wasn't a constant in my life, I could have been a little bit more nicer to her. Here's the thing. My mom is actually going through something right now, and what she's going through has actually brought her back into mine and my sister's lives. Whereas before, she didn't really come around. We, talk to her on Facebook and see her every once in a blue moon, but we didn't really have a close relationship with her. Well, with what she's going through now, it's crazy to say because it feels like God has put the pieces together to bring her back to us and to kind of mend all those broken relationships and the resentment and bitterness that I had towards her. Because whenever my dad first passed, I actually my first reaction to any type of high stress situation is always anger. For some reason, my first reaction is always anger. And what did I do whenever my dad passed? I turned my anger on her, and I was very hateful, and she didn't deserve that. But what I can tell you is I really see God working in all of our lives. I was not an easy daughter to either one of my parents. I was close with my dad, yes, but please know, y'all, our relationship was not perfect. My dad had his issues and I had mine. I was very much so like him. He had a hot temper and so do I. So whenever we would get together, there was always love, but there were arguments and fights too, y'all. It was not perfect. I don't ever want y'all to think that it was perfect, because it wasn't. That's not reality. Complex, close relationships are never going to be pitch perfect. There are going to be issues. You're going to have roadblocks. So with all that being said, whenever my dad passed, I was able to reflect on a lot that I did wrong in mine and my dad's relationship. He did a lot wrong too, okay? He was not perfect either. He made his mistakes. But I was always so hard on him, and I could have given him a lot more grace and forgiveness and patience than what I did. So now, with my mom being brought back to my life, into my life, I'm able to reflect on what I did wrong with my dad, even though I can't fix what I did with my dad and how I treated him. Don't get me wrong, I loved him and I was there for him, and nobody can sit there and tell me that I wasn't. I've had people try to tell me that I wasn't. But believe me, whenever I say I would fight tooth and nail for that man. But I did do a lot wrong, and I could have treated him with more grace than what I did. So being able to reflect on that and what I did wrong with my dad, I'm able to show my mom more grace and more patience and more love and more forgiveness. Because at the beginning, whenever my dad passed, I turned all my anger and all my hate on her, and I made it very clear. Hurt people, and that's exactly what I did. I turned it on her. I didn't tell y'all this part whenever I talked about the 1 year, but she showed up at the hospital, and I would not let her in the room to see me. She's seen all the rest of my sisters, but I would not let her in the room with me because I was so angry. I didn't know what I would do. I didn't know how I would react if I seen her, because that's the first thing I did. I turned my sorrow and pain into anger. God has given me a lot of time to reflect on my mistakes with my dad, and I feel like he's given me a second chance with my mom, and he has laid her before me in this situation that has been brought to us, and all the many struggles and all the many things that we have been through these past year and a half. He really did move all the puzzle pieces together to bring her back into our lives. I'm taking it as a second chance to show forgiveness and to apologize and to show more love and compassion and more patience and not be so abrasive, because that is my default. I'm very much so an abrasive person. I don't feel like I'm just hateful for no reason, but I am a very abrasive, short-tempered person, and that's something that I've had to work on. Pretty much what I'm trying to say is that she was in and out of my life, but God has given me a second chance to give her a second chance and to find forgiveness in this situation. And all the heartache and all the pain, I can show forgiveness to my mother and apologize and do what I couldn't do, what the opportunity was taken for me to do with my dad. If y'all want more information on what's going on with my mom, I have asked her and she has agreed to sit down with me and us talk to y'all about it. She is open to that, so if y'all are interested in that, please let me know. I would love to do a video. That's pretty much a long answer to, has my mom ever been in my life? I was talking to my sister the other day, and I had told her I didn't get as many questions as I thought I would. So she thought she was going to be funny and go on the comments and ask a bunch of random questions off of Google. She like copied and pasted it onto my comments. So I'll answer, just for the heck of it, I'll answer some of the questions that she put in there. One of the questions is, what was your first celebrity crush? And as far as being a kid, I don't remember my first crush, but the one that I can remember is Ian Sumner Holder on The Vampire Diaries. I am absolutely in love with that man, y'all. And I blush thinking about it, but no, he's a really, really good actor, and I loved his character on The Vampire Diaries, and he is nothing like his character in real life. I really do respect what he stands for in real life. He's really about the environment and fixing the ecosystem and working to make this world a better place. So he is my celebrity crush. The second question is, how do you show love? My love language, how I show it, is act of service. I will help you no matter what you need type of person. If I'm at your house and it's dirty and you're struggling and you need help, I will literally sit there with you and help you clean your house. If you're needing somebody to help you paint something, I will be in there painting the walls with you just to show you that I love you and to give you my time. The way I show love to Jimmy and LJ is I wash their clothes, I clean the house, I try to make special days and do things for them. That is how I show love to others. I do an act of service. But how I receive love is probably by touch. As far as Jimmy goes, it would be by touch. And for other people, it's communication maybe. I don't really know how I receive love. Jimmy is a quiet man, and you're never gonna see him get on here with me, but his love language is to touch, to kiss, to feel, all of those things, which that's important to me. That's how I receive love from him. And he does acts of service too, not as much as I do, but he does do acts of service, which is important to me. But the main thing is just reassurance, and he gives me a lot of that. What's your favorite TV show? The Vampire Diaries. Y'all already know that. Jennifer 3 Frog asks, I know you lost your dad. Same here. I am sorry for your loss, Jennifer. It is a loss that I don't wish on anybody, not even my worst enemy. She says, how do you deal with depression, anxiety, and weight management? Depression and anxiety. So I am on a medication for depression and anxiety. That helps me, but that is a decision that you need to sit down and make with your doctor if you need that. That is not always needed, but in my case it was, because it was so severe and it was crippling depression and anxiety. Like, it affected my quality of life, and that is something that they teach you in nursing school. If something is affecting somebody's quality of life, that is whenever an intervention needs to be done. Aside from my medication, I don't know, my thought process has changed a lot since my dad has passed. I don't take things so seriously anymore because, like I said, this is just a short ride, y'all. He ain't gonna be here forever. And I don't compare myself to others as much as I used to, and that has helped me not feel so bad about, you know, because there's such a stigma about living within your means. People think that you have to live on a credit card and you need to be up to your eyeballs in debt, and that is just not how I do things. And I cherish my relationships a little bit more, and I'm a little bit more easy to forgive now, not be so harsh and abrasive towards people, and just realize that everybody's struggling. Everybody is going through something, okay? There's no reason for anybody to look down on anybody else, because baby, we all going through it. We are all going through it. As far as weight management goes, so my weight has I've always been thicker per se. I don't feel like I'm really big, but I'm not small either. I'm like a mid-size going towards the bigger size, and I've never lost weight, if that makes sense. Whatever I gain, I unfortunately keep. I've never lost weight, and I am My diet whenever I was younger was really poor, which a lot of young people's diets are, which now I eat a lot more salads, I eat a lot more cleaner, I'll eat more alternative things, like instead of eating a bag of chips, I'll get something that's a healthier snack. But it's still, I still haven't lost weight on it, so I'm not really sure about the weight management. I am trying these new supplements that are supposed to help. I know apple cider vinegar is supposed to be really good for weight management, and pre-diabetes, which I don't have pre-diabetes, but my dad was a diabetic, and I'm scared that if I keep gaining weight and I keep going at the rate I'm going, I'm going to end up being a pre-diabetic or a diabetic. So I'm really trying to watch that. My diet has gotten a lot better. I do not drink sodas at all. I do a lot of salads and a lot of alternative things. It's not perfect. I still go by Chick-fil-A and get chicken nuggets, but I'm trying to refrain from gaining weight while trying to figure out how I can lose it. As far as being comfortable in my body, I do struggle. There are days whenever I'm like, ew, gross, you know, we all have those days. But one thing that I can say that has helped me, and I think that a lot of women need to consider doing, is, so like on my Instagram, I have a lot of fashion influencers on there, and I noticed that before I had a lot of women who were a lot smaller than me, and it would always make me feel bad whenever I was sitting there scrolling and I see all these women who are so much smaller and they look so cute in these outfits and their belly's flat and they ain't got cellulite and all this, that, and the other. And it would in turn make me feel bad about how my body looked. So I decided that I was going to turn the tables, and I unfollowed all of those women. And it has nothing to do with them personally. It's just because it would make me feel bad about how my body looks. There's nothing wrong with being small. There's nothing wrong with having a flat belly. But if it makes you feel bad for what your body looks like, that's not healthy. It's not about them, it's about how in turn it makes you feel. So I unfollowed all of those women, and then I started following people who were my size and dressing in my body style and showing how they were able to dress, and that in turn has really changed the game for me. I feel a lot better about how my body is, and it makes you feel more comfortable and confident, and like you deserve a place in this world too. It's not just for the small and the fit people. Again, I'm absolutely not bashing people who are small and fit and all of that, but us who are larger do need to learn how to love our bodies too, and it can be difficult if you're comparing yourself to somebody who doesn't look like you. So I do recommend, if you have not tried that, definitely try it. It has changed my perspective on things, and I feel a lot better about my body, but I am also still trying to manage how to be healthier, and I do want to lose a little weight. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, my body's perfect, I'm perfectly fine with it. No, I do want to be healthier, and I do want to lose a little bit of weight. I don't want to get really small, because that's just not how my body was built. I'm very much so built like my mother. Whereas my mother, she can gain and lose weight. I only gain it, but I'm built like her. She's thicker and I'm thicker. Whereas all of my other sisters are kind of on the smaller side. All that to say, if you haven't tried that, definitely try it. But as far as weight management, I don't really have an answer right now. If I do figure out something that works, I will definitely let y'all know. And then the last question is from Terry Landry, 1313. She says, I'm wondering how long you've been married, which I've answered that. I've been married for 12 years. And then she says, I forgot, are you a nurse to a child or an elderly person? So I am an LVN, and I take care of disabled children, teens, and young adults. And the patient that I take care of now is a young adult, but their mindset is of an infant. And that's really all the information I can give you. I don't like to dive into any of my patients, any of them, of their health information. That is very much so a no-no in the nursing community, but I can tell you that the patient is a young adult and they have the mind of an infant. They are full care and wheelchair bound. So I take care of them, and the house that I work for, the mom is a nurse and she is a single mom, so it's just her and her child. So while she goes to work, I take care of her child. Dallas! Look who came to visit me. Say hi, Dallas. Look at the camera. That was a lot of fun, y'all. This is my first time doing a Q&A, but I actually really enjoyed it. I think I'll definitely do one in the future. Let me know if y'all enjoyed it too. But this is going to be the end of the video. So until next time, love on your people, be kind to strangers, and know that you are God's child. I'll see y'all in the next one.